Welcome back. This is still the big issue on TV3Newday. In the studios, I have Mr. Kofi Amayao. He is a member of the NPP communications team, and Comrade Murtala Mohammed is the MP for Tamale Central. We're discussing the Foreign Affairs Minister's response on the floor of Parliament yesterday with regards to whether the Ghana card can be used as an e-passport. She says, no, it cannot be used. This is against what the Vice President had said. And we played the video earlier. I just read also ICAO's response when this issue came out. They said that it was incorrect and it was also wrong for media reports to claim that ICAO had agreed that the Ghanaian ID card is equivalent to an e-passport. In fact, it is the receiving state that determines what documents you can enter their country with. Comrade.
Well, I think that the foreign minister, she either did it deliberately or she was lacking dexterity in appreciating some of the issues for which she was invited to Parliament. Because you have your Vice President made a statement, even though we challenged the sincerity of the statement at the time, and the response exposed the Vice President. And frankly, and I say this with all the seriousness, I empathize with my senior brother, honestly, and I want to use the opportunity to apologize to millions of Ghanaians who were deceived into believing that you could travel with your e-passport, that the Vice President perhaps was once again deceived. I don't know who wrote the speech for him. Maybe my simple advice to my senior brother, he's a PhD holder. When they write speeches to you, read the speeches, understand them, and get people to analyze them properly. Because the embarrassment are just too many. E-levy we thought was enough. This one is a disaster. To be very honest, my brother, I can understand your challenge.
Was what?
It was a disaster. There were a lot of gaffes from the Vice President in the matter of the e-levy.
My e-levy?
Yes. My issue.
He commented on the e-levy?
Oh, he commented a lot on taxes and how e-levy was going to.
Has he commented on the e-levy?
But he made a comment on it
how
before.
How e-levy was going.
What has he done to you this morning?
I'm sympathizing with my senior brother. It's none of your business. Allow me to sympathize with my senior. You guys are deliberately destroying his credibility.
No, but come on, you can't say
no,
that
it is.
It's a question that was put
Bella.
before the minister,
if you are a minister of state,
she was under oath to speak the truth.
If you are a minister of state, a minister of foreign affairs, at least, and the questions were not just asked there, the questions were sent to her. The questions were sent to her, and she ought to have known. There are instances you can find a way to talk to the person or ask the question because it will be damaging. Anyway.
So she should have lied?
You see, Bella, if you throw your frog over the wall, do you go out to find out how the frog lands? Me, it's none of my business. But I'm just concerned because it's just too many. I don't know those who write the speeches of the Vice President. And I don't know because you see, the once bitten, twice shy. We saw what they did to blessed memory Alhaji Aliyu Mama. We saw what they did to him. Fine gentleman. And I shudder to think that it's the same way they want to treat our senior brother. And for him...
What did they do to him?
Oh, someone who was the Vice President for 80 years, demonstrated an outstanding leadership. When he went into the polls, they rallied behind and said he wasn't supposed to lead their party. And that is the part they are leading Dr. Baumia to. Hey, me, I'm happy because you see, there is a proverb in Dagbani that when you go to the market and abandon your village people and begin following other people, when the market ends, you go home alone. And I can tell you that is precisely what they are going to do to my... Oh, no, he's my senior brother.
You're in the same...
Oh, he's my senior brother, so I take some tutorials of proverbs from him.
Are you done?
Why?
Kofi, I love the man to land. I'll come to you, don't worry.
So, Bella, the point is that is this thing airtime. In Twi, when you say
airtime.
That's
what you're trying to say.
I mean,
okay.
Yes, the mess is too much. You should be apologizing to the people of this country.
Murtala's agenda is to come after the Vice President. But let me
he
make
was
the
just
point.
apologizing on behalf of the Vice President.
He was being sarcastic. We all know that. Let me make the point emphatically and with all humility that the Vice President is extremely loved and respected in the party for the fact that he's a serious contender to become the next flag bearer of our party.
Is your chairman supporting him or is supporting Alan?
He supports the MPP.
Who do you support, Alan or...
Comrade,
I support
let him.
Stephen Intim.
17, who does he support?
He supports the MPP.
I know that Team Mafia supports.
Hold on.
Can you just stop? Can you just stop?
Please.
So for me, they know the threat he poses to their political fortunes. That is why he is here today to come after the vice president.
So you think that if Dr. Bawumia becomes a flag bearer, then it's a sure banker that the NPP will break the 8?
I am of the strongest view that anybody that the NPP will present as a flag bearer will beat the NDC.
But you just said yourself that the other side knows how strong Dr. Bawumia's
But you're asking my personal opinion.
So which is why I'm asking. You made a statement, and I was just asking a follow-up. That based on what you said, does it mean that if Dr. Bawumia becomes the flag bearer, then it's a sure banker that NPP will break the 8?
Of course. Of course.
You're very sure of that?
I'm very positive.
Credibility is gone.
What do you mean credibility?
Is not credible.
Is this credibility?
You have made an agenda to come after the man. Listen, we are talking about credibility. Let me give you what he has done so far as the leader of the economic management.
Unemployment.
Okay.
When we hold on,
comrade, please.
When we inherited the economy in 2017, okay, we were doing a growth of 3.4%. Between 2017 and 2020, we were doing an average of 7% growth in GDP. Okay? We had inflation of about 15%. We maintained it for single digit for over 3 years under his management.
Which single digit over 3 years?
Inflation.
Single digit over 3 years.
Okay? Let me make my point.
So give us the stats there. If you say single digit, exactly what?
We had about 9 between an average of 8% inflation
3 years
rate in this country.
You understand,
comrade, please. I'll let you respond.
All right. Under his administration and championing the digitization program, we have a system in this country where, because of digitization, things have become seamlessly easy. Now we have the digital property addressing system. We have the Ghana Post GPS.
Is it really working?
It is working.
It is.
When you go, your house,
every house,
don't you see the embossment there?
The digital address.
Don't you see it there?
Has every house
My house, I have it there.
Every house in this country? Has it received it? It's a process.
But it's being done.
So what's the percentage of homes?
So we are talking about.
What's the percentage?
I have no idea. I don't have the figures.
No, but if you sit here and you say that you are counting this as part of his achievements.
Has it been done or not? Do you have one in your house?
Has it been done or not?
I'm asking a question.
How many homes?
Bella, do you have one in your house?
Hold on.
But why have you taken my book?
Hold on.
Do you have one in your house?
How many homes in the country have received this digital address? So that we can use that to measure how successful it has been. Is that what people use in tracking people's homes at the moment? Or are people still stuck on Google Maps?
Bella, you can call the District Assembly Common Fund. That's the agency responsible for making sure every house receives one. But when you are asked to provide an address in this country for any business whatsoever, and you put on the Ghana Post GPS, is it acceptable or not? It is acceptable.
Is that what people
naturally use to track
these
The Ghana card has gradually
homes?
become the singular identification card to be used in this country. What address does it have on it? Your Ghana Post GPS. So clearly, I'm saying that as far as his credibility and his wherewithal and his competence are concerned, the man is a top notch. And they know that. We all know that.
The NDC says that they have every weapon available if he becomes a flag bearer, because they're just going to use his words against him. It should be very easy because he said a lot of things and backtracked on them.
And our land is a disaster.
Look.
We don't have any credit.
We are talking about an individual, okay, that promised that he will fix, or we, the MPP, the Nanado's administration, will fix the economy of this country. But for the cascading effect of a global pandemic, okay.
COVID, we're still talking COVID?
Yes. I'm talking about now we are gradually weaning ourselves out of the COVID. We are doing better. We were doing almost 1% growth in GDP.
We're doing better.
Now
inflation rate is at 27.6. It's the highest in the last 18 years. And we say we're doing better?
No, we are doing relatively better under the circumstances. Bella, in 2000, I bought my fuel for $54. Just last week, I was in the US. Okay, I bought it for $82.
Okay, it's Ghana.
Okay, so I'm saying that this situation we find ourselves. Okay, we admit as a government, when you read paragraph 20 of our budget statement, the Ghanaians are suffering. The president has made that point. The vice president, when he went to Kaswa, made that point. The finance minister has made the point that yes, things are challenging in this country. But I'm saying that we are doing relatively better. And the issue is not peculiar to only Ghana. It's a global thing.
If you're comparing to the US, then let's come back home to the countries that surround us. Let's even talk about inflation rate. Cote d'Ivoire is doing an inflation of below 5% as at April. It was about 4.8%.
Okay.
Nigeria is doing about 15 or 16%.
But has there been...
We are also facing
marginal...
COVID. We're also facing Russia-Ukraine crisis. So what is it that they are doing that's keeping their inflation low?
This is a conversation...
And yet we are still high up there.
This is a conversation I want us to have...
That's really high.
No, listen, this is a conversation I want us to have and situate it within its right spectrum. For example, the mitigating factor that we put out there. Can you compare to what the Nigerians did?
Yes, it's even better.
Their system and their structure of the economy, is it the same as Ghana? We almost import everything. So when you look at our inflation, it's an imported inflation we are talking about. So when you just make the reference that, oh, Nigeria is doing better, this is doing better, you need to compare the structure of the economy.
So
you also need, wait, can you just stop? You also need to compare, okay, some of the actions, some of the policies, some of the things that they did in terms of fighting the COVID-19. How much resources they were able to devote compared to their domestic gross product. So for me, as a country...
But you didn't think of all that when you're comparing us to the U.S. and saying that you bought fuel for $54 at a point and now it was $82. Did you make that comparison as well?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did. Go to all the stores. And now I know you've been to the U.S. Go to all the stores in the U.S. You realize about 99% of the product in the stores are imported. Is it right or wrong? You go to the dollar stores, you go to Macy's, you go to Kohl's, you go to Walmart. Can I make my point?
Are we really comparing ourselves to the U.S.?
I'm talking about the structure of the economy. We import almost everything. The U.S., that's same. Even avocados.
Nigeria? Nigeria doesn't import almost everything?
They've even stopped importing rice. Almost stopped importing rice.
But aside that,
okay. So
are they not importing every other thing?
Let's also look at how much of their money they spent on their people when the COVID struck.
But were we not? No, but we were said to be one of the few countries in the world that was actually handling COVID very well.
Because of the money we were putting in
and we made
a
lot of noise about it.
Because when the president said something that we know how to revive the economy. Okay, do you know what that meant? Can you just stop? What it meant was that the economy will die. The economy will go down. We know how to revive the economy. And that's exactly what is happening. The economy
have you revived this now?
But we are doing 5.4% growth when we did about 0.1%.
How is this reflecting in the pockets of the regular Ghanaian who's now buying bread at 10 cedis, 15 cedis?
As I sit
His salary is the same.
I get it. As I sit here, I sincerely sympathize with people.
You don't.
Okay? I know things are difficult. I buy my own fuel. And I know how difficult it is. Okay? But I am saying that it will take this government, it will take an MPP government to ensure that we get to the level where there will be a satisfactory comfort in this country.
Okay.
We are where we are because of what happened in 2020 and in 2021.
But if we say we're moving from taxation to production, then we should have been cushioned even better than what we're seeing now.
Look, when we said that we need to move the management of the economy from taxation to production, and that we have some taxes that were nuisance taxes, did we abolish and reduce these taxes that we talked about or not?
But we introduced new taxes.
No, we did.
We introduced new taxes.
Did we do it or
COVID
we
levy.
didn't? No, I'm talking about whether
we're paying e-levy now.
When we made the promise, did we deliver or not?
You didn't.
We did.
You didn't.
We abolished and reduced over 15 taxes in this country.
And then you brought in new taxes.
Relax.
We're paying e-levy now.
I'm making the point.
You faced stiff opposition when e-levy was announced.
Do we embark on activities that will promote industrialization in this country?
No.
That will focus on productivity in this country? Yes, we did.
Which productivity?
We implemented the one district, one factory. Today, as we talk now, we have over 7 automobile companies assembling in this country. It's an agenda to industrialize this country. It's an agenda to make sure we increase productivity. So the promise we made in 2016 that we will move the management of the economy from taxation to production, we did it.
We're importing tomatoes, even till date. We're importing tomatoes. The tomato sellers, they cried foul when they were being attacked along the Navrongo Road because they were saying that every time that we travel to Burkina Faso to buy tomatoes, we're attacked.
It's multimedia or it's TV3. I think it's TV3 when your reporter did a story when he went to a farm where a box of tomatoes would cost an X amount, and when you come to Accra, it costs, So for me, clearly, it's a process ongoing. This country cannot be fixed all of a sudden now. Okay. And I believe that it will take the new patriotic party, the new government of MPP, I'm talking about Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to continue the agenda to ensure that Ghana goes beyond aid.
Okay, all right. Comrade.
What my stomach?
Today you want to speak?
Yes,
Why? What's happening to your stomach?
But you've taken my book.
I beg. No. Oh, if you want, I can. I have them. No. Don't worry. Bella. First and foremost, they repeatedly make references to COVID, and I was happy. In fact, you are one of the fine journalists. You are so smart that you ask him, please. Oh no, you are so smart. Some journalists wouldn't do that. You ask him that he should stop comparing us with Europe and America and come to Africa. None of our neighbors went to the IMF for $3 billion loan. None of them. None of our neighbors went to the World Bank for $450 million loan. None of our neighbors dipped their hands into their central bank to take 20 billion. None of our neighbors got 86 million euro from the European Union. None of them. As a matter of fact, Senegal paid rents for their citizens. You can't compare that thing you are doing, that little water and electricity, which we are now paying anyway. We still pay them. When the Minister for Information told us that it's not Father Christmas and the manners no longer fall from heaven, why on earth would you compare that? They did better than we did. Get this very clearly. 2, we are being told by your former DCE, Municipal Chief Executive, for Anargu, that you are distributing the COVID money to them like Kele Willie, and that as a candidate for the MPP in the 2020 elections, she got 50,000, additional 50,000, party executives were giving money, regional executives were giving money. This is how you expended the money. Taxes or loans you went in for and on behalf of the people of this country. President Nana Addo is getting to 80 years. That money will be paid by myself and you and our kids. This is what you did to the people of this country. Now, let's come to the issues. When I talked about the mess created by Dr. Baum, we don't care whether it's Dr. Baum or Alan. Alan is a mess. I have a dossier on him.
You cannot say that.
No, I have the right to say that. I have the right to say that. I have the right to say that he and Baum, they are outlook.
Would you accept if they say that former President John Dramani Mahama was also a mess?
What didn't they say about him?
But you raise
I'm saying that what didn't they say about him? Even in Parliament, they said he was a thief without a scintilla of evidence. We never said anything. We never ran after journalists arresting you because journalists attacked President Mahama in person. The day President Mahama lost the mother, the very day, Manasseh published an untruth about him that morning. And every journalist in this country went to town with it. The day President Mahama lost the mother. How immoral and unethical this could be. Nobody said anything. I am saying that whether Dr. Baumia or Alan, the NDC doesn't care. But let me look at the issues. Now, the same Dr. Baumia who created the mess, unemployment in this country was 6.8. Dr. Baumia went to town and said President Mahama was a mess, that he was incompetent. Today, unemployment is over 19%. The dollar to the cedi was 3.6. Today, how much is it? This morning, 8.4. An economist. President Mahama is not an economist. 3, in this country, how much was a gallon of petrol? How much is it today? The young man who is watching us, who is looking for a job and not getting the job, who lives at Adenta, and who had struggled for your party, and he hasn't given a little space at Terminal 3. The entire duty-free of Terminal 3 is given to the daughter of the president. When people bid for that particular contract, and when they were bidding, they each paid $5,000. They returned the monies to them.
And you have evidence of this?
Over 500 companies.
Comrade, you have evidence?
I have evidence.
Of all this?
I have evidence. Oh, let me finish. Let me finish. I want you journalists to find out how much that lady is paying to the Ghana Airport Company. I want you to find out. I want you to find out. Yet those young people who suffered for your party are looking for jobs. They are not getting the jobs. Check. Bring my figures, my information. I think he said
he could take his book back.
Again, we borrowed. The NDC borrowed about 50 billion. You have borrowed over 200 billion. There is nothing to show. Absolutely nothing to show for the money you have borrowed.
SHS. He talks about one district, one factory.
It's a scam. We have companies that are existing. And in any case, it is only under this government who claim to be creating jobs, promoting industrialization. Yes, unemployment rate is escalating. Does it even make sense?
Well, so
I'm saying the corruption.
So
CDD itself. If I
I'm
will borrow
told
Professor.
I'm told that the president's daughter is not the one that runs Terminal 3. And so
I'm saying that they're duty free.
Well, she says that no.
I said duty free. She is the one who runs it. I'm not saying she runs Terminal 3. I said duty free of Terminal 3. And they did not even
have evidence to back all of this?
I know for a fact.
Because it will be good if you put out the evidence.
I am saying that duty free.
We're not casting aspersions on someone's image.
Do you know why they are rushing to say that she doesn't run duty free? That's not what I mean. I mean,
well, I'm told
she doesn't run Terminal 3.
I'm told that she's a tenant and she pays rent.
I said that duty free. She is the only person occupying the entire duty free.
Well, so I'm getting information that she's a tenant.
Don't you travel?
Hold on,
I'm saying that
so I'm also getting information.
Don't you travel?
And it says that she's a tenant and she pays rent.
Bella, I'm saying that we are saying that. I'm saying that she is the only person occupying the entire Terminal 3 duty free. She's the only person.
She says she doesn't run duty free.
I'm not saying she runs it.
She doesn't run duty free. She's a tenant and she pays rent.
I never said she runs it. I say that she occupies the entire duty free at the Terminal 3.
As a tenant, does she pay rent? If she does,
is she the only Ghanaian?
Does she pay rent?
Tell me one single country on earth that you have one person.
Okay.
One person
my time is up, unfortunately. We have to go.
Show me
we
one.
have to go. But until we get enough evidence on this, we would want to dissociate from it until we get evidence. Sorry. But we're also getting information from them saying that she does not run duty free. She's just a tenant. Okay.
Have I said she ran duty free?
Okay, well, my time is up. We have to go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I've been speaking to Comrade Murtala Mohammed. He is the MP for Tamale Central, and also Kofi Ameyaw is a member of the NPP communications team. Well, it says again that she only occupies 30 square kilometers of the space, and that's her shop. And so she is just a tenant and she is paying rent. That's it. We'll be back with more later. Helen also went out to find out how much it will cost to buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner as a regular Ghanaian, and how expensive it has become, or maybe how affordable it is. We'll get into that conversation later. Keep watching. This is TV3 New Day.